Here's what you will see when you click Create Video. At the top left, you navigate to your media that you uploaded, and you can scroll down at this bar to access all of your elements right there in this place. At the top right, where you see the blue window, that's where you can preview all of your video clips, and at the bottom we will create a sequence for our video. But we'll look at that just now. For the beginning, please go to the top left and click Edit in Full Screen. It helps me, I find, to focus and to see everything without the other tabs potentially distracting. And now you can use, if you select one of the clips, as I just did, you can click the play button under the preview window to preview what that specific clip entails, because sometimes they might be larger, they might be shorter, and then you can see what you have. You click on the plus and it will automatically occur at the bottom behind the title. The title is there by default, please don't worry about it, we will sort that later. And now you try to choose the next one. Go through your materials, preview them carefully, and if you say yes, this is an element I would like to have, you click on the plus button. And now it decides the order for you, but if you're not happy with that, you say, that chronologically happens before the second clip, you just drag it in place. You can switch the order, and if you're not happy, let's say with the first element here, there's this little trash button that appears in red that can help you to delete the element. So what I did here was to record a clip of the area or the region in which this is taking place, and you could do the same for your organization, just to give your viewer an idea of where you are located. And I like to have this in the beginning, so that helps me to create a sequence. And now I'm trying to go chronologically. You can see here I'm using a toggle marker, which helps me to position and to jump to in certain positions inside the now growing sequence. And now you see I positioned the marker just here, and then the preview starts playing from there. Again, if you accidentally delete something, you can at the top right use the redo and undo buttons to go back in time. Let's go back to full screen edit. There we go. So now you go through your different video clips and you decide what is the best order for them. And you will see now the sequence is growing, and I carefully navigate to the right where I can say, okay, what makes most sense? What is like, in which order does this appear, or in which order do the elements best tell my story? And at the bottom here, now I have a few images that I would like to insert at the end of the video. You will see. Here I'm also deciding on an order. And now I click plus here on the latest image, and it doesn't appear in the end. So don't worry. It can sometimes happen that here, what you can see here, it gets inserted at a different position. You just delete it from here, and then you can drag it to the end. And the alternative is to use the blue marker. You just put it in the place where you would like to insert the new element, and then you go up to your materials, click plus, and there we go. It jumps right in there. So now we're trying to carefully consider, are all the elements included? I didn't use everything I had recorded. I was really picky as to what I wanted to have in there. And if you see something that's not where you want it to be, as I just did here, you can drag it to a different position. And what's really key to this is exactly how TV series and movies are cut and created. So now let's click on the pen button as we did here, and this opens the individual edits that I can make to my video clip. At the top here you can click rotation if for some reason it didn't properly import, so you can transform and adapt your video clip. Or flip, I do not recommend using flip, be careful with what you're using here in the edits. Important is the volume section, because you might have a clip that it's fairly loud. In this case the waves were like taking a lot of attention, so I decide to mute most of my video clips or reduce the audio level to a very, very low degree. So that, for example, if you have audio commentary, you can still be heard. In this section, we can add a caption. For example, here I'm deciding to explain where this video will be filmed or where this organization is placed, where this activity is taking place. And you can choose to either have it on the bottom left or in the lower third. And below this text window here, you can change which font you would like to have and also do additional edits in terms of whether you would like to have it bold or in italics, or you can change the size. This can, for example, also help if you have someone speaking and you would like to put their name in there. So you put the caption and say what is their name and what is their role in your organization if they're giving a statement. Good. Then we can also edit photos, for example here in the lower third. Here I would like to include, because it's the end of my video sequence, at least at this place where I decided that, I'm adding a call to action. And the whole point of your video is that you would like to connect to the viewer and get them interested to find out more, or to get in contact with your organization, or to join your Facebook group, or to follow your Facebook page, or to sign up for one of your trainings. This should definitely be at the end so that you create a hook for further engagement. You can see I'm giving a few examples here. And as with the video clips, you have the same options in terms of font size and font position. I'll show a different option later if this is too limiting to you and you want to use more text on, for example, our last slide. Then there's a different option that I'm introducing later in the tutorial. So now we can click Done Editing. And we will have to check on all of these video clips and see what changes they need. Or also if you decide you don't want to have them in there anymore, that you can delete them. In the middle there's a third button, FX, stands for Special Effects. And here you can play with the effects. I do recommend to be very careful with special effects because here inverted colors or black and white could work, for example, for like an historical, let's say, reference or something, but blurring or sepia might quickly get out of hand. So you want your viewer to be concentrated on your content and not be flashed by different color options. And you can see the preview for the different effects shows on the right side of the photo.